Welcome back to Nail Babe Pod, a podcast dedicated to interviewing the nail babes of the nail world. I'm your host, Abe, the Nail Babe. This is my cat, Claude. This week, my nail babe is Hannah Roxit. You probably know Hannah if you've been in the nail world for any length of time. She's one of the OG nail content creators. She's a YouTuber, licensed nail tech, and celebrity manicurist, painting celebrities' nails like Jennifer Lawrence, Millie Bobby Brown, Zendaya, Gal Gadot. Ever heard of them? She has flawless nails and beautiful content. So without any further ado, oil those cuticles and lotion your hands and welcome Hannah to the pod. I am so excited to welcome Hannah Roxit.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
OG nail girly, right? I feel like...
I guess. I mean, I've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, and also just like YouTuber. I feel like a lot of us watching YouTube, like that was like my origin story, is like watching YouTube. Like that's how I figured out about nail polish.
Yeah.
So like definitely was watching your channel, CutePolish.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Because you were a part of CutePolish.
Yeah. I mean, I think she started like all the way back in the beginning.
Yeah.
I think she started a little before me and then
Sandy.
I started. Yes. And then eventually years later, I made some videos for her channel and we just kind of collaborated. So
how does that work? I mean, I guess we'll get into it, but I'm just like, I was talking to Larissa and she was like, oh yeah, like Hannah was part of CutePolish. I was like, what? Like, I didn't even like put these pieces together.
I mean, it was, let's see, I think it was in like 2015.
Yeah.
Sandy reached out to me and she was, getting a few people to make videos on her channel. And I was like, sure. I mean, why not? And that's just kind of how it started. And I did it. I don't know how long I did that for. I made quite a lot of videos, I think. So I was making videos on my channel and her channel, but it was really fun because it kind of like broadened the audience for collaborating.
But then now, I mean, you're also a licensed nail tech now and paint celebrities' nails?
Yes. I've been licensed since 2010, like the end of 2010.
That was before the nail YouTube and everything?
Yeah, well, I was in nail school when I made my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Yeah. So the reason I even got inspired to do that was, well, first of all, I would watch like makeup videos on YouTube and I'd see like Michelle Phan. She was like the big makeup girl back then. And I was like, I'm not a makeup person, but I just loved watching it. And so I was like, oh, I want to make videos, but what would I do? Like, what do I enjoy? And it was always nails. So in nail tech school, our teacher showed us how to like drag the polish on the nail and make a flower. And I was like, this is incredible. Wow.
Advanced technique.
Yeah. It was like, you just like dropped it and you just like dragged it around.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it. So that really inspired me to make a channel because I was like, I could do this, but in videos and tutorials and put on YouTube. So then I got licensed. Yeah.
But like, okay, I like to get people like to give us their Sparknote versions of how they got into nail polish. Okay. So like I said, my example is YouTube Simply Nailogical. Polish Mountain was how I discovered nail polish existed.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
And then COVID, boredom, and self-expression.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So love nails since I was young. And then my teacher, she showed us how to make flowers on the nails in nail tech school. And then I got inspired to make my YouTube channel. And that was the start of it all.
Okay. So then what brought you to nail tech school?
So I was in a place where actually I had no idea what I wanted to do. So it was like one of those things where I'm like, I really don't know. And I wasn't really forced to like go to college or something. But my mom, she's a massage therapist and she has all these clients. And just one day I was like, I really like doing nails. I could do nails on your clients. And it just went from there and it worked out.
So then you were doing nails for your mom's clients and you're like, wait, I should get licensed.
Yeah, like real. No, I was licensed. Oh, okay. And then I was working. But she had like a little spa and we made like a little nail section. So it was really fun. It was a good, start.
That's nice. So then you were like the
Yeah.
only, were there other people doing nails there too? Or you were,
No, it's like it was
oh,
a small little, very personal space. Like she has a bunch of good clients, that are like
hmm.
friends and this and that. So it was easy to kind of be like, hire me.
Does nail tech school teach you how to like paint other people's nails? I mean, I guess like what is,
It's very basic.
yeah.
It's, how to just paint a nail. Because honestly, the first time I tried to paint a nail, like how they told me, it was
Mhm.
so bad. It was terrible. Like I had, like my cuticles were like all messed up. Like it wasn't like, nice and, cleaned up.
Yeah.
So they teach you
Because
the
that's
very
just how you
basics.
were like just painting your nails as a kid. Like you were like, I don't really care. Or that was just like,
Yeah,
okay. Because I don't know, when I painting other people's nails seems like a completely different thing. I don't know. When
it
I'm like
is.
painting a friend's nail, I have to sit next to them. So then I have the same angle of how I paint my own nails,
Oh,
which I'm like, imagine a nail
right.
tech being like, actually come sit next to
Can
me.
you
It's
sit
just like,
next? No, it definitely is different because I was doing, nails on myself. And
yeah.
then when I went to do other people's nails, I was like, yeah, this is this is different. But I got used to being able to do everything however I needed it. Uh, but yeah, nail tech school was great. They teach you a lot of, like
The
science
chemistry.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the cleanliness
Yeah.
set.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big thing. But then, they taught us how to do like a French tip or something.
Hmm.
And the silk wraps,
Oh, okay. Wait, what is
like
that?
it's like when you put a layer of silk over to like strengthen the nail so it doesn't
Okay.
break and it like
Okay. But then you were like, okay, like I'm licensed now. I'm like, and you were like, I can do my own thing. Like you were fully felt
yeah.
ready to do that.
Yeah, well, like I was as ready as I could be. I still have a
Yeah.
lot of practice to do, but um I was licensed and I got a lot of practice in working with my mom's clients.
Yeah.
And then just doing my own videos was really kind of
Mm.
like my focus.
Okay, so then where did the videos come in while so you when did you create the YouTube? Was that the first thing you did like online?
I think so, yeah. So November, I'm pretty sure it's November 2010, I made the
Okay.
channel.
And that was like you were in nail school at the time?
Okay, hold on. Do you hear that?
No.
Oh, never
What is
mind.
it?
My cat's going.
Oh.
No,
Okay, so
tech school.
YouTube, this was 2010, you
Yeah,
said. What
yeah.
is, I'm trying to like think back, like what YouTube was in 2010.
Oh my
Like it
gosh,
seems like a completely
yeah,
different thing.
it was so different. I mean, the whole layout, like I remember like the OG layout, and we could like create our banners, which you can still do, but it was different. It was definitely, old school when you look at it
Yeah.
now. But, makeup and all that was so popular. I just remember that being the thing I would watch all the time. But it was fun. I think a lot of people were just like discovering YouTube, and it was a cool
Yeah.
thing.
I remember all the like, who were the ones? Like, I feel like I would like Tyler Oakley and like Zoella
Oh
and like
my
all these people.
gosh. Yeah, Miss Glamorazzi. I remember that was another
It
person I watched.
was like it was like the
Yeah.
challenge, I feel like was really,
Yeah, yeah, like and then DIYs and like what else would they do? Outfit of the days were so like
mm.
popular. Like I got this from here, I got this from here.
So then what you were just what immediately you were paying like you wanted to show nail art? That was like your
Yeah,
first thing?
I feel like after I saw my teacher make the flower, it was immediately like I could do nail art designs in like tutorials like people do makeup and put it on YouTube because I feel like not a lot of people were doing that. So I had, a space to do that. And yeah, it was just like a light bulb
Yeah.
moment after that day.
And you just used your phone or what?
No, I mean, back then I had a flip phone.
Oh.
Like I had like flip phone that had a keyboard.
Yeah, okay.
So
Yeah,
I
I
think the
forget.
quality was terrible, but I had a point and shoot.
Mm,
So I had a point and shoot camera and I made jewelry on Etsy for fun. So I had umbrellas already for like light. And I was
yeah.
like, oh, I could, have this light, and it was terrible anyways because I didn't know how to do settings on my camera. It was like really dark, even though I had these bright lights. I was like, how do I don't know.
You're just
I
like
guess that's
auto
okay.
adjusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you keep making it brighter, but it just makes it go darker.
Yeah. I think I was like, I don't even know how to adjust anything. I just went with it. And I think my first video was like a watermelon slime like drip.
Oh.
And I have it privated because it was
No.
so embarrassing. But I kind of want to do like a reaction video because
You
it's
should like recreate
hilarious.
it after too.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea.
That's cute.
Yeah. And it was 30 seconds long. So, and it had like this free techno music, like royalty free. It was great.
But I feel like definitely now I feel like are known for like super clean, like perfect videos, perfect lighting. I'm claiming this for you. I'm telling you
Oh,
this is what
thank
it
you.
is.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. No, I am definitely kind of like a perfectionist when it comes to certain things, which is good, but like kind of frustrating and stressful.
Yeah. No, when it can hold you back, then it's like when you're
Yeah,
just like, no, you should just post it. It's good enough.
right. I have to do that often too. I'm like, this is fine. You don't have to go back and like paint that little edge on your cuticle that's poking out that no one notices,
That's
you
what I'm like,
know.
Photoshop?
Honestly. Yeah, if it's a photo, then it's
Well,
like,
yeah.
let me just do that real
Like
quick.
After Effects, how hard do I want to make this?
Oh my gosh, right. Exactly. So with video, it's like just it's fine. And people like to see imperfections
Yeah.
too. You know, that's what people like. When you put things out that are always perfect, that's what I do. I put things out that are just like the perfect shot, the perfect take, the perfect everything. But I have a lot of takes most likely to get that shot.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's also just like you're only seeing like 0.7 seconds, at least for like a reel. So I'm
Right.
just like, what
Yeah.
about the like 3 minute clip that I'm filming? Like all of that rest of the footage is bad.
Yeah, no, I was thinking every time I make like a 10-second reel, I'm like, this took a long time for this 10 seconds. It's incredible when you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're just seeing that like perfect, the rest of them, my hands shaking and
Yeah.
trying
Yeah.
to. Well, first of all, your nails are so not stained.
Oh.
Which like I'm so jealous because I feel like
Oh.
it's a constant struggle. I don't know like what is the secret? What are you doing?
People ask me this a lot. I think I just got a DM that I was answering
Really?
like, the other day about it. And I always say, and I think it's from not wearing nail polish for longer than like a day,
Oh,
honestly, because I'm always like doing something else, take it off, doing something else, take it off. There was one time where I wore red and it stained, and it was like pretty stained. This was years ago. And I remember looking up and they said, toothpaste with peroxide. And so I was just like,
well,
I'll try it. And it actually helped. But
oh,
I don't know if that's like a good thing to put on your nails. So
yeah.
like
I don't know if it's advisable.
don't don't don't
Hannah Roxit
sue me about
said.
it. Please don't sue me about this. It was on the internet.
Like if you put cuticle remover like on your nail plate and kind of like scrub a little bit, that sometimes
Yeah.
helps.
Because I feel like the oil probably will loosen up, any of the color.
Yeah.
That's probably a safer
Yeah.
that's
No,
a
I do
safer
that, but
way
it's
to
also just
go.
like some of these blues that I love, but
Yeah.
then they're like so staining. Wait, so then do you wear nail polish in between like when you're filming? Like for your day-to-day life, are
Oh,
you like naked or like have
no. Yeah, I'm naked. See, that's why I think that's the thing. I'm not
yeah.
like wearing it. I barely wear it unless I know I can wear it for like a few days.
Yeah.
Then I will, or if like I'm going somewhere, or like doing something where it's like, okay, I
Just
can wear
because it's
this.
like you want to be ready to film.
Yeah, and usually I can film something every day. I really could. So usually I am filming something every day. So it's like impossible for me to just like wear something whenever I want.
I feel like well, because I wear nail polish in between. So maybe that is like right now it's like a nude, so it doesn't
Yeah,
look like anything, but
cute. I just saw that.
yeah,
I
that's
think
what
I
I
saw
posted
that. It was
today.
so cute.
I was
Yeah,
like not
no,
sure if I liked it, but I was like, eh. That was the
no,
thing where I was like, am I gonna refilm a thing? I'm like, nope, just post
yeah,
it. Just post it.
right. No, exactly, because there's so many times where I thought something was too simple too. I'm like, nobody wants to see this like ombre. And then it's like I got 2 million views. I'm
You know,
like,
like
oh,
okay.
okay. It's
Versus the
crazy
ones that
how
are
it
like
works.
I like found a random clip of me like cleaning up my cuticle. I was like, that can be a video. And then that's the one that's like pops off and you're like,
Right.
well, I guess that was a
Yeah,
good thing. Like,
exactly.
yeah.
It's so random, but it works.
Wait, so then do you actually paint your nails every day? Are you filming every day or is that just like you could?
Yeah, I mean, I usually am.
Okay.
But there's some days where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a break. And
Yeah.
then I kind of just give my nails a rest. I just kind of like don't do anything. I might like I soak them with,
Mm.
lotion and cuticle oil and kind of like revive them.
Yeah. I feel like I mostly batch content. Like I'll do like 3 or 4
Yeah,
videos in a night and then I'm just like,
yeah.
and never again. Like almost like
Right.
once a week.
No, I feel like I want to try to start doing that because
You
I've
never,
gotten
you
in.
don't do that.
I sometimes I'll batch things and then sometimes something will just like come up randomly. They're like, oh, we need this in like 5 days or
Yeah.
whatever. And I'm like,
They're like, we need it by yesterday.
yeah. And
You're
I'm
like,
like,
I don't even
oh,
have the package yet. So
yeah, yeah, right. It like throws me off and then
yeah.
I'll go into like the everyday thing.
I feel like you are pumping out the content though. But like, how was, I guess going back to like the early days of YouTube, you who were the were like other YouTuber nail people at the time? Like, was there like, because right now, like, there's a very big community of like nail people on
Yeah.
Instagram and all that
Mhm.
stuff. But I'm wondering if you knew about it back then or if it even was.
Yeah, I feel like it was a lot smaller. I mean, there was CutePolish, me. There was
That's
a
it.
few that I can't remember. No, there was other. I remember there was someone named Ellen Ish. She had like a popular channel.
Yeah, I feel like I'm
Totally
putting you on the
cool.
spot of like 20 years ago, like, or
No,
10 years ago.
there was someone totally cool nails. I remember.
Mm,
I feel like if I had like a little more time, I'd probably be
yeah,
like,
but
I
not as
remember.
many people that are still around.
Right. I think Q Polish is kind of the only person
And
that
you.
yeah, I think actually that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. No, it is crazy. I feel like you've been doing this for a long time. Internet terms, it's like a long
Yeah. Right. I mean, I guess 2010 to now I think my YouTube anniversary is coming up in November, so it's like 13 years.
time. Oh, you should do something.
Yeah,
Face
maybe.
reveal.
Yeah, again, so everyone remembers.
I'm curious, was it like, I know like people think about like YouTube, it's like people make money off AdSense and all that. Was that like
Mhm.
ever a consideration in the beginning? Like, did you know of this?
Yeah, I
Oh,
did.
okay.
So I think it was something that was like, ooh, I could, I didn't really think like make it a job or make
Mm.
it like it was like this could be, a cool thing where you get like kind of some money because previous to this, I made like layouts for MySpace. So I had a
Oh,
website where you could like get graphics and like pick layouts and things like that. So I had, AdSense on my website. And so I knew about AdSense for a long time. Yeah.
because I feel like that's such a,
So
like an early YouTube thing. You're like, I didn't even know. And they're like these
yeah,
bajillionaires. You're like,
yeah.
I don't
But
know.
you had to apply to get accepted. And
Okay.
so I applied like 3 times and I kept getting
Oh,
denied.
really?
Yeah. And I had to wait like a couple months and then apply again.
What
And
was it just because they didn't think you like had enough views or something?
I think it was like that you had to have like certain subscribers, certain views, certain, like you had to upload a certain
Yeah.
amount. And finally, I think it was honestly like my fourth try, they accepted me and I was thrilled. I was so excited. It's like finally.
Because that's what like right now I'm trying to get monetized on YouTube, but it's just like you
Yeah.
have to have either 3,000 watch hours, which like
Oh,
it seems like not you're like, oh, 3,000 views, like that's easy. But like watch
yeah.
hours, like I feel like also as a pod
That's,
like that's a long time.
yeah. Yeah.
Or
Right.
3 million reels or shorts views.
Oh,
Either one. But also I'm just like, that's like anyway.
yeah. Yeah.
It's a
So
struggle,
I
but
didn't,
slow going.
so it's like nowadays you have to, like, you're not monetized on YouTube. No, like,
No.
not everyone can get monetized
You have to have
to get
those
monetized.
threshold. And then I mean, I'm sure
Okay.
you have to apply. I don't think you would get denied. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like they've changed it throughout the years.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. No, for sure. I remember hitting 100,000 subscribers, and that was like crazy. And
Yeah.
YouTube sent me like a package with like a $500 gift card to like
Did you get the
B&H
button, the
photo.
gold button or the silver play button?
No, I didn't. And I can apparently I can contact someone to get it because they weren't giving it out back.
Oh. Well, you should do it.
I know. Yeah. Because I forget I was in contact with someone and then I forgot.
I mean, like, what are you going to do with that? It just seems fun. But
Yeah, no, it's definitely fun to have. You reignited my motivation for it.
good. But you also have like a video that's like 28 million views is your most
Yeah.
viewed video, which is
Yeah.
like insane. When in the process of your YouTube career was that video? And like, do you remember like when it first started popping off?
Yeah, so I think I made that video in like 2018, maybe.
Okay. So you've been posting
So
for 8 years,
yeah,
7 years.
yeah. And so I realized compilation videos were doing like really good on YouTube. I was like, I'm just gonna put all like majority of my designs together into one video and post it. And I know really long videos do good too, like more so than the shorter ones. So it was a week. I posted it and nothing happened for like a week. And then all of a sudden, it was just like every time I refreshed, it was like another 10K. It was crazy. I was freaking out. So yeah, that it was just so random because I didn't expect anything like that after a week of posting it too.
Mm. Well, that was like I just posted a YouTube short that hit 1 million views. So I'm like a third away to monetize. So I'm like, I just need 2 more of these.
Oh my goodness.
But it took like 4 days for it to like start getting views. It was like no views, like 3 views, like when it just like popped off.
Oh my gosh, that's so yeah. Shorts is another great way, I think, to like find an audience and to get out there. I'm thinking of really like focusing on shorts and to see what happens, honestly. Like
you
do
should.
something
I
every
feel
day.
like
Yeah.
because it's the same video anytime, like
Yeah.
And like
I
what
feel
I
like
do is I just go to like, Hey Great Nails or like The Greater Good. And I just like
yeah.
look at what audio they use and I'm like, and I will use that too. Like whatever,
Okay. Good idea. Good idea.
like pro tip.
Yes.
Like what hashtags? I will copy those.
I was doing that for Crystal. I was like looking and seeing her hashtags and how she like
Yeah.
writes other, and I'm like,
Oh,
let's
like the
try it.
keywords, like
Yeah.
SEO. Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
I still just do for Instagram. I still just do like my block of hashtags, which like is
Yeah.
out of style. And I think you're not supposed to, but I'm just like, I don't know.
For
I'm scared to not.
For the longest time, I had like 30 hashtags at the bottom of
what
my
I have.
I know. And I was like, maybe I should try something else. We'll see.
You've been doing less hashtags?
Yeah,
Okay,
I've been doing it with like keywords, like cute nails, nail art design, whatever.
I
But
feel like
not
that
a
works
hashtag.
for TikTok more, but maybe, I don't know. It's always like changing too. Like,
yeah.
No one even knows what's going on.
Honestly, we're just trying our best.
So, are you willing to talk about like monetizing or like, I'm wondering like what this $28 million views.
I wish.
$1 a view. I don't know if this like, I'm like, are they like, once you're actually monetized?
So I can say that video was insane. And because it had so many views, I feel like my, what is it? CPM? Maybe it's not
like
CPM.
Cents per view or something?
View, or there's like 2 of them. It got higher. Okay. Because, it has so much action and they like raise it for advertisers and whatnot. So I haven't checked in total how much that video made, but I remember back when it like, I think I was at like 10 or 15 million at that point. I think
views, not dollars.
Views. I think it was like 5K for at that point. And that's when it was just like gaining.
Yeah.
Like now it's like, it still trickles in. Views still trickle in. But it's not like, it's probably like a couple $100.
Yeah. Well, because then also you have all your other videos that like probably add a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So
but like, yeah, especially these people that like are posting that like every day. Like Mr. B, like all these big people.
They are making so much money, honestly, for sure. Because they post every day. So their like CPMs are super high and they get like millions of views. I mean, I can't imagine. It's like a lot.
And then plus like a sponsorship.
Oh, yeah.
If they have it. Like, yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. Definitely.
These YouTubers.
I know. Oh my God.
I mean, it's good. Like, people should get
Yeah.
paid. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Did you have, after that, like, massive viral moment, were
Yeah.
like, were brands being like, hey, we
I
want to
mean,
sponsor you? Or they were just like, what's happening?
I,
What's
I'm
YouTube?
no, I'm pretty sure I did get like a lot more contacts. But even before
Mm,
that, I had connections, with like
yeah.
the nail polish companies already. Um,
Yeah, because you had been
so
doing this for like 7
yeah,
years. Yeah, yeah.
right. So it was already like, I don't think anyone new really reached out to me. I think I just got like more jobs.
Okay. I guess going back to like the beginning, you create this YouTube and you're like, I just want to share my passion or like nail art. But
Mhm.
then you were like, okay, but no, I'm still just going to be working in a salon. Like that was the goal, was to
Yeah.
like work in a salon, I guess, or do your own thing.
Yeah, I think it was just, to get experience and to, make money, obviously. But when my YouTube started, getting better and better, I realized, oh, this is like sustaining me more
Mm,
than that. So eventually, I think maybe it was like 2013, 2014. No, 2014, 2015 is when I kind of was like, took a big focus just strictly on YouTube and, social media, content creation. And I stopped doing like the spa, just like the salon stuff
hmm
to really keep my time in the creation realm.
mm. Because then you were just working in a nail salon before, doing clients'
Yeah.
nails.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
okay. Do you
Yeah.
still do any of that other than like your celebrity clients?
No, I don't do
Okay.
any just like salon stuff. I think
Yeah.
about like, oh, what if I made like my own little like place? That'd be fun. But, this is taking up my time and I'm happy with it. And then
Mm.
every now and then I get a call, yeah, to do photo shoots
Okay, so
for
then
things.
how did that come about? Like where was that like I don't know, how do you like transition to be like, yeah,
Yeah.
I want to paint a celebrity? Like it's just like what like who are the like who are the some of the people that you like painted?
So Jennifer Lawrence, Zoe Saldana, Zendaya,
Iconic.
Anna de Armas. That was my most recent one. And
Okay.
then Millie Bobby Brown.
Okay. Crazy. Like how
I'm
you're just
like,
like,
turn
yeah, like I'm like,
around.
okay, I think I want to paint Zendaya's nails. Like, yeah, that's my next goal. It's like, what?
No, I know. Well, okay. So the reason I even got the chance to do
Yeah.
this, I learned. I don't know. I was looking up something, and I learned about some manicurists in New York, LA, in the big markets, and how they do photo shoots. And I was like, oh, so it's not just hair makeup people. They do
Mm,
hire manicurists, and I was like, oh, that would be awesome. But I'm in the Atlanta area, so this market
okay.
is like very. They have things that happen here, but it's not,
Well, now more,
everyday
it's
thing.
right. It seems like now they're
Yeah.
filming more down there.
Oh, yeah. So that is actually the reason why any of this happened because so many celebrities film movies here
Oh.
and they do cover shoots and everyone comes in from New York, LA, and then they hire me because I'm local and I can just do the nails.
And you're
But
amazing.
thank you. One day I was looking up agencies in Atlanta that represent hair and makeup. And I emailed like 3 or 4 of them. Like, if you ever need a manicurist, this is my YouTube. I'm a YouTuber. Let me know. I've never done this before, but just let me know. And so no one replied except one. And they said, we'll like keep you in mind. Usually we don't get requests. It's very rare. Literally 2 weeks later, they said they need a manicurist for Marie Claire. And I'm like, oh, okay, awesome. And then they said it's the cover shoot for Jennifer Lawrence. And I was like, okay,
And this is your first one.
first ever anything on set. And I'm like, okay.
You're like,
So
actually.
actually, I don't know. I'm gonna go run away.
So then, okay.
So I got booked. I did it, and I was just like, all I have to do is paint nails. Like this is normal. This is like not anything
Yeah, just a
crazy.
regular client. Nothing. This
Yeah.
person isn't anybody.
Yeah. And so it was just a sheer new nail, so easy. But I walk in and everyone like kind of knows each other. And so it's like, hey, I'm like
How y'all
terrified.
doing?
But everyone was very nice. She was very nice. It was like a good experience. And after that, shortly after that, it's crazy how things started happening. I booked the cover of Women's Health, which was with Lauren Cohen, which she was in the Walking Dead
Okay.
show. Yeah. So then things just trickle in every now and then. It's not consistent at all.
Yeah. And it's just through that like agency that you said like,
Yeah.
hey, if you ever need anybody,
Yeah.
how do they tell you what they want before? Or you like just show up and they're like, use this polish? Or like, do you have to bring, like, what do you bring? How did you know like
Oh, I
what to
have a
bring?
kit.
Okay.
Right. So my agent does kind of ask to help me out, like what's the
Okay.
look, what's the vibes, but I always bring like everything.
Okay.
So it's like they might say like, oh, we need nude polish, whatever. I'll bring like yellows, lime greens. I'm just making sure because I was on a shoot for Le Sport Sac and they didn't tell me anything. It was just like whatever color. So I bring like an array of things that are like most popular, but then weird colors too. You never know. So they were like, oh, do you have like a mustard yellow? And I was like, I actually do. you know?
They're like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have to, be prepared and ready so you're not, scared.
Yeah. But you're just like bringing, I don't know, you still have to like do all their cuticles and all that kind of stuff.
No, usually they don't have the time to really like
Okay.
do the
Like a
whole
proper.
like spa treatment, this and that. It's usually like if I need to, I'll like trim up anything that's like poking out. Cuticle oil fixes a lot of things, it's
Mm-hmm.
just like it just fixes everything. And then I'll just paint it. And
Because it's not
usually
like so close up on the nails,
right,
mostly.
it's usually
Okay.
usually not. I did a shoot for Smart Water and I was like, they didn't even have like makeup or hair because it was all just like hand models.
Yeah.
So that was like one of them where I was like the main artist,
Yeah.
you know?
How were the hand models? Were they nice nails?
Yeah, no, but they weren't just strictly hand models. They were like normal models. Like
Okay.
they had like, really nice nails. I think, but for Smart Water, it was very like commercial. So you don't want anyone with like these long nails like
Oh,
mine.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like normal, quote unquote,
Right.
nails.
Right.
I feel like I did see a TikTok of like some hand model that she's like, my hands look good when I'm at like this weight. So like I can't lose weight because my hands won't look as like she was
Oh,
like, yeah, I'm
really?
but she was just a hand model. She didn't do anything else like or she would
Yeah.
like pose like on other people's faces. They'd
Yeah.
put her hands
Yeah.
like I don't know,
Oh
it's
my gosh.
interesting. Like she'd be like hugging them.
Right, like up under and yeah, it can be interesting. I heard a lot of stories from hand models because I always ask them, say I always have like the craziest story.
Yeah. What was that first encounter? Like you were just like a blur? I don't know. Like what was
Honestly, yeah, I think it was just like a blur, and then it's kind of like, oh, like this is crazy because they also credited me in the magazine, and I'm like, okay, because hair and makeup, they always get credit. It's a big thing, but like for me as a manicurist, that was crazy, and that was like
because
very
sometimes they
appreciative.
don't, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Oh.
definitely.
And there's nothing you can do.
Yeah. There was a cover shoot that I didn't get credited. And I was like, I reached out to the agency and I was like, hey, what happened here? And they didn't reply. So
Well,
I was like, well, I was about to be a little, like snide with it and post it on my Instagram and be like, here's a shoot I did, but
you
don't
should
mind
have.
the not credit of me. I swear I did it.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, it's okay though.
You still got the paycheck.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. True.
Also, did we even talk about CutePolish? Yeah, I feel like we touched on the beginning,
Yeah.
but then how you've been like posting online and you're like, CutePolish is this big YouTube channel with like nail art
Yeah.
as well. And
Hmm.
how did that relationship start?
Yeah. So she reached out. She was getting together, like kind of like a team to help her
Yeah.
post because I think she was taking a little bit of a step back.
Okay.
So she could post more consistently. So she was getting, I think there's like four of us
Because
that,
like the intros used to have like little like
yeah,
people. Yeah.
it said like our names at the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was kind of like, I think, shifting with her content to be able to produce more content, but also have more time for herself. So she asked, and I said, sure, why not? I mean, it was a fun thing. I think she also like credited all of us so everyone could see like our channels, and it just worked. We got a commission to make videos. She paid us.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you had been doing that for other companies at that point too. Like you had just been doing content creation.
Yeah. So I think my earliest brand partnership was probably Sally Hansen.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they were probably the first people to reach out to me and work with me. And it's funny because they're like my most consistent, like to this day, brand that I work with.
Oh, we love that.
Yeah. So thank you.
I'm curious how I mean, you've, like we said, you've been in the game for a long time. You're like the OG nail girly, I would say.
Hmm.
Like how you see like this nail community evolving. I know like, and it seems like more people are like paying for content creators or like
Hmm.
more willing to do that. But it seems like what I've heard is like back in the day, like that was not really a thing. I'm wondering if you've seen things shifting over the years.
Oh, yeah, I think so. Because before, I don't really remember brands reaching out and being like, oh, can you promote this product and create a nail art and this and this and that, you know? I think now social media and the reach it has with people, brands really realize how valuable that is. And it's definitely such a thing now. It's very popular to reach out to these influencers and content creators to make content and content that they use, for their paid advertising too. They're not always going to like the professional photographer and like studio because that costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are making really high quality content.
So then in the back in the day, they would just send you stuff and just expect you to do like
Yeah,
videos or
I got a lot of products. I would always say I can't guarantee that I'll post just to make sure there's no like expectation, but I would share it and I would most likely post it because back then I wasn't like having all these jobs in a row. It's like it's making good connections is what I
Mm.
was really trying to do.
Yeah, I feel like especially like yeah, that's I think when you starting you're like also it's like you have time. Now I'm like I tell people like or new brands, although, anyone wants to like it's always okay to ask if any
Yeah.
brands are listening. But
Yeah.
like sometimes I just have to say no because I'm like I know my schedule or like know what's coming up and like
Yeah.
I just don't have time to like use it. And I feel bad
Right.
for you like sending it and I won't use it.
Yeah, I get that too because I recently said that to a brand and I was like, right now I just have so many projects. Typically I'm open to samples, but I can't guarantee sharing. But, in the future, I'll definitely keep you in mind.
Yeah, especially like
Yeah.
small brands when it's like this is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. I don't want them to like expect something and then I
I
can't
know. Because
do
I
it.
definitely will say like no guarantee, but then there's like I still feel like they expect it.
Right.
Or they
Right.
want
They're
it,
they're
obviously.
they have that hope and they're just sitting
Yeah.
there and sorry.
But yeah, it's tough. Also like the content style, like I feel like that has probably shifted a lot. I don't
Oh
know like
yeah.
how you've like tried to adapt your
Mhm.
content over the years.
Oh yeah, because I think when I first got Instagram, I don't think you could even do video. It was
Oh
just all
yeah.
photos.
Right.
So YouTube was like videos, Instagram was photos, and then Instagram, came out with videos. But it was like it was still square. And you
Oh.
could only I think you could only do a certain
It
amount.
was
And
like
then
IGTV, wasn't it or something?
I mean, that came later.
Oh,
Like I
okay.
first got Instagram in like 2013, I
Oh yeah,
think.
no, I didn't
Yeah.
have when everything was like blue or something, right?
Yeah. It was just the original Instagram. And so yeah, IGTV. And then that's not a thing, right?
Not
Anymore.
anymore. Yeah,
Now
no,
it's
it's like
just
just
like
every video is considered a reel, and I'm like,
right.
okay.
Yeah. When that changed, I was like, okay, so everything's here now. But short form videos, I think, with TikTok, shorts, reels is really popular. I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest difference. I think that's probably more popular than the long form ones.
Mm. And then, but your long form, like, what is when you say long form? It's like kind of like 4 minutes, right? Or is it longer?
Yeah, no. Like my typical YouTube videos are like 3-ish minutes
Okay.
or so. And I think it's beneficial if you're doing swatches and people want to know the first code, second code, and like see things instead of just like a 10-second
Yeah.
video of like a swatch.
Yeah.
But so it's good to have both, but I think short form is really popular now for sure.
Yeah. And then that was just kind of the similar content. You just were editing it faster, basically, right?
Right. Yeah, you just cutting it down to
Yeah.
be typically under 15 seconds. So, yeah.
Yeah. Mostly now you're doing swatches, right? I guess you just still do, I mean, you do nail art and like other, but like for a
Yeah.
YouTube video, it's kind of like a
Yeah.
collection swatch.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, typically collection swatches. I am getting more into doing nail art again. I want to do like compilations, like, find what's trending and just like put it all together in one video. But like earlier, I said I want to focus on shorts to kind of see where that goes, because I don't think I've posted shorts every now and then I'm like, okay, whatever. But if I post every day, I want to do an experiment, see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the same. I'm like, I post every day on Instagram, or like at least every weekday. But then I'm like TikTok and like YouTube Shorts. I'm like, I'm like, I should just post that once I'm there. Like, it's
I
not
know.
that much harder to like post it on all these platforms. But
yeah, no, I know. I forgot about TikTok for a while, and I'm starting to post
Same.
there again because I was like, oh, it's been like a bit.
Yeah, mine was like a month. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, me too. No, for sure. And then it's like I post it again and it barely gets any views, and I'm like, it's okay.
I know TikTok is just so like, it's so hard though. I feel like there's like nothing. One video did well.
Yeah.
Nothing. And it's like, I just need them to all weird. Like level out. Yeah. So I don't like, I would just take those views and like spread them out. Then I would feel better.
Yeah, I know. It's so weird. TikTok is probably the weirdest platform for me to understand.
Same.
It's just like a chance thing, it seems like.
Yeah.
It's funny how now that's another big difference. It's like we have like another generation that likes certain things, and then we have like millennials. So it's finding the balance, or just like not caring and doing whatever you want.
Yeah.
Which is what I usually do.
Okay. I was going to, I feel like I go through periods. I'm like, I'm doing the same thing over and over again. But then like I find a new way of doing it. And then I'm like, this is exciting. But, like, I don't know if you've dealt with that, or like how you try to like keep it interesting for you.
Right. I mean, I definitely went through periods of like having a lull of like, what am I going to do now? Like, and then I don't do anything because I don't know what to do. And then if you see I don't upload for like a week, it's because I'm like, I don't know what to do. But it's true. I would probably revisit things that did well, or things that I really enjoyed, and do it in a different way, in a different color way, or in a little bit of a different style, and, go from there, because usually they will do good again. So it's just like trial and error.
Yeah. You just have to keep posting.
Honestly, consistency, I know, is the key, truly. Good quality and interesting content. But then like, if you're consistent, you're most likely going to get the views.
Yeah. It also is like, it's hard when you're like feeling like you're doing the same thing over and over again. But then that's what succeeds. Like, because people want to recognize your content. They want to see, they follow you for a specific video. And then if they recognize it, they're like, okay, yeah, I remember this. It was great. Like, so that's also hard when it's like, and also we are the only ones that actually know every post that we've made. Like, people don't remember what we post the next day.
I didn't really think about that, but it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I like redid a video and I put it on YouTube. And I think someone's like, didn't you already do this? And I'm like, please don't.
Who is this person? Like,
how did you
memorize
this? This was like from like 5 years ago.
I sometimes repost the same like video on, I mean, not often, but like I've done it a few times where I'm like, this went really viral. Like, let me post it again. Like, it's just like a video that wasn't like that memorable. Like, it wasn't like a whatever spider web nails.
Right. That one's your most controversial.
I know. And now it's like popping off on TikTok. So I'm getting so many comments on like,
I gotta go get entertained with the comments.
Also, a lot of them are in different language. I'm like, doesn't bother me if I can't understand. I'm sure they're saying something horrible, but
don't press the translate. Don't press the translate button.
Never. Okay. Out of your like, because you have like content creation, YouTube, I guess YouTube, Instagram, and then like celebrity nails. What are the things that you enjoy about like each thing? What do each of those things like give you that are different from the other?
Yeah, well, obviously like the on-set stuff is totally different from any of my like internet things. So I think that in itself is just fun.
Okay.
I really enjoy obviously having the opportunity to work with celebrities. I mean, that's crazy. But then also like the brands that I work with for onset is really cool. Like Zendaya was doing Valentino, and that's the shoot I was on. So I was excited for Zendaya, but then I was like, this is really cool.
Goodie bags. Did we get anything?
No, oh my gosh, I wish. That would have been awesome. So yeah, being able to work with brands I typically wouldn't work with, like
Mm.
for my content creation, is really cool. Plus celebrities.
What if are the celebrities just like they're in their chair getting their like other stuff done, their
Yeah,
hair and makeup,
typically
and
I
you're just
do.
like,
Yeah, typically I do the nails while they're doing hair and makeup too.
oh,
So I'm
okay,
like
crouched in
on
the
the
corner.
floor, like yeah,
Oh,
it's usually like that. Every now and then they'll have like a separate section for me, but that's usually for like more commercial things, like not celebrity stuff, like Coca-Cola or something, like
oh,
they'll like have a nail section.
that's more
They'll
focused on
come to
like the
me.
hand.
Yeah. YouTube was really just like my start and it really
Mm.
expanded my horizons and connecting with so many people from around the world. I think with that, it's just fun to have people really appreciate, my content and get joy from it. So many people have contacted me and said, I helped them through like a bad period in their life. And I'm like,
Mm.
that's crazy. That feels great though. That's awesome. I'm glad I could have done that with nails.
I feel like I definitely, or just like I watch a lot of like nail stuff when I like fall asleep. So I like watching your videos, like falling asleep. I'm like, yep, that's a nice color. Like slowly falling asleep. Like thanks, like you're putting me to bed. Like not
That's
in a
so funny.
bad way, but like
No, no,
it's just
yeah.
like a relaxing, like good way.
Yeah, it's like the ASMR, but like
Yeah, just like
visual.
so satisfying. I'm like, I know
Yeah.
she's not gonna flutter cuticle. Like there's no worries.
No like scare, jump
Jump scare.
scare.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Do you have an idea of like the proportion of the celebrity work versus like the content creation? Like how
Yeah.
much of it like takes up, I guess, your time or like money?
Yeah.
Like what
Oh,
is
yeah.
that? Like half or
Yeah, no, definitely my content creation is like my main thing.
okay. Same.
100%. It's probably like 95 to 5%
Okay. Or
true,
like also
honestly.
sponsorships.
And yeah,
Yeah.
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 Sponsorships, content creation, all of that. The onset stuff, celebrity stuff is super random every now and then. Not every onset job is like celebrity. A lot of it's
Oh, okay.
commercial. Yeah.
Do those pay well or is it just kind of like more like fun?
It can definitely pay well,
Oh,
especially for commercial things, though, or like advertising. You should get paid a lot more.
okay.
So around close to like 1K a day.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I would think that's an average for like commercial, like
Okay.
advertising things. But I've definitely been on shoots where it's been way cheaper. But then it's like
Okay.
half a day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
it's best on like your hours.
yeah, typically it is an hours thing. And then, they have a budget. And sometimes I'll be like, okay, I'll just go do it because I want to be included in this thing and it's fun.
Yeah. No, it's I mean like yeah, I feel like that would be so much fun.
Yeah.
And just like be able to say you did that. That's like cool.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely for sure.
Yeah. Whereas like the content, I guess it's a different thing because it's not hourly, right? That's just
Yeah.
like based off that content and like that desired usage
Yeah. Right.
versus like because I guess that's where the difference is for when you're creating your own content, you own the copyright to that image. Whereas on
Yeah.
if you're working on a shoot, they own the copyright to that image, the
You're right.
photographer or like the shoot
Yeah.
or the client. And
Yeah.
you're just like a hired like person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So I guess that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's good compared to like a regular like 9 to 5.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But also it's like I imagine like you were saying, like it's so expensive for all these people to be on set. Like
Yeah.
all of those, they have to pay all those people to rent that space to like have
Yeah.
the model, or they could just hire a nail person to like make
Exactly.
their same video that's like the same
Yeah.
quality probably.
And I feel like that's what a lot of brands have transitioned into doing. I mean, I've made content so many times for like, just not even to post, just for the
Yeah.
brand. So they can use it for paid advertising or whatever.
Yeah. And I think what you were saying too, like people didn't realize that like YouTube or Instagram like actually was marketing until like recently. I mean,
Yeah.
especially not in the beginning. They're like, I don't know. It's like kids in their bedroom, like talking about whatever cinnamon challenge.
Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah. Because when I think about it, I didn't start getting sponsorships till 5 years later, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
So it wasn't a thing in the beginning for sure.
And then how did you figure out? Like, I know, like, Crystal was the one that helped
Yeah.
me when I was starting to like up my game and like start getting bigger, asking for bigger numbers. And then,
Yeah.
but how did, like, back in the day, like, how did you figure this out? You're just like,
Honestly, I remember trying to look something up and I knew
yeah.
there was nothing because it was such a new thing. The only thing I could find was rates for like photography, like not YouTube video, but like people who did photography.
Okay.
So I was like reading about what people charge for like photography for,
Licensing their photo for like the front of a
yeah,
magazine or something.
exactly, or like a commercial. And it's like you have so many different numbers because it's like a car commercial and charge thousands of dollars. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
You're
So
like this tiny nail brand. It's like,
yeah, it was hard, honestly. It was hard to figure it out, but I think I did find some little things that helped me. Like I charged this much for this shoot and it sounded reasonable. And then if they wanted to license, I did like 20% more. And I was like, okay, I'll just try that. And then the brand would accept and I'd be like, okay.
like that wasn't so unreasonable they didn't accept. So like, okay.
Right. Right. And then it's kind of like, okay, well, maybe let's try like a little more because I have better quality now or something. And then, okay, they accept it. So it's kind of like it was a lot of trial and error.
Every time I'm like, let's go a little higher. Let's see. Like they didn't try to negotiate too much. Like, let's do another round.
Yeah. Because you can always negotiate
Yeah.
to like what you probably originally were going to ask. So it is.
But if you start there, then they negotiate down.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. No, I think always go higher and then see what happens.
I think so too. Because also, like, you never know. Like, a lot of times they're like, oh, like, when I do a higher number, they're just like, yep. And I'm like, oh, okay, then. Like, I should have went even higher, but okay.
I've definitely done that where I was like, I'll send them this. And I'm like, you know what? No, I'll send them something a little higher. And then they accepted it. And I'm like, oh, I should have gone a little higher.
But I mean, like, I was like, always, I'm like, I just made an extra, like, $200 just because I put an extra number, like, just in that email. Exactly. Like, that was easy. but then sometimes it backfires and they're like, actually, we can't afford any of it. And I'm like, well. But I'm like, if you can't, then we probably weren't going to work together anyway.
Right, exactly.
Anyway, but also going back onto like the quality, you have very high quality videos, perfect lighting, like I said. Do you have like, do you have experience in like filmmaking before? Like, how did you get to where you are now?
No, not at all. I think at all. Like in the beginning, I had the point and shoot. I didn't know how to adjust anything. I had like 2 umbrella lights, but it was still dark. It was so much just self-taught learning. I've had a lot of time to do this. I would look up things on the internet, like, why is my camera so dark still? And then they'd be like, oh, you need to adjust like the aperture or the ISO or whatever all that is. So a lot of learning, a lot of just looking up stuff myself to get to the point I am at now.
Yeah, I feel like that definitely is like you always have to keep evolving, right? Like that's something that I feel like self-critique, I think is something that like is really important and is hard to do without like becoming discouraging.
No, for sure, because I went a long time just being in like the same setup and the same quality. I think it was only last year when I was like, I need to start shooting in 4K because I was just so comfortable with shooting like on my, big camera, my SLR, and it wasn't in 4K. And it was just,
But could it shoot in 4K or you had to get a whole new camera?
It was old. I got a whole new camera. I was like, I need to, like, what am I doing? I need to like step it up. It's like other people are shooting in 4K, like their quality looks so crisp. But then whenever I cut mine out and upload on Instagram, it like reduced the quality because it wasn't like large dimensions. So evolving is very important.
Well, thank you again. Amazing, iconic Hannah Roxit.
Thank you.
Everywhere. Follow Hannah Roxit if you're not already.
Oh, follow me, please.
Subscribe to her YouTube.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Hey. Okay. I mean, I said it before and I'll say it again. Iconic. Let me just add painting celebrities' nails to my wish list. And now for some comments. Hannah Joelle, okay, I recognize that username. Thanks for commenting. Says, okay, I'm halfway through, but I have to pause and say, Abe, I'm dying laughing over here because literally you ask every question that pops into my head. Well, I'm glad I could oblige. My interview technique is, what would I want to know right now? And then I ask. Cher Nandez07 says, here for the nail babes, 5 stars. finally caught up on all the episodes, and I cannot express how much I love this podcast. It's been great to get to know these guests even more than what I already know from their socials. I love that they have been so happy to share many great tips to help us become even better creators. It's fun to just chill and listen. Feels like hanging out with friends, excited to see what the other episodes bring. I appreciate that and hope you'll hang out with us next week. So with that, I want to thank Hannah again for being on the pod and for everyone listening, and I will see you next Thursday. Ow.